So, clarification, to the best of my knowledge, about where his legal situation is. Ethan Raph pled no contest to a criminal charge of unlawful dissemination of image of other in Virginia, which resulted in his conviction. He is not a registered sex offender, but he is a convicted sex offender. The mother of his child was the victim in that case, and because of other things that he said, she has a one-way restraining order against him, an injunctive relief prohibiting him from discussing Faith Vickers. He has visitation rights of once a month, supervised. When he must maintain anger management classes. I think he has to be sober during visitation, and some other stipulations I can't quite remember. He also has a two-way injunctive relief against Matthew Vickers, the father of Faith Vickers, his baby mama dada, which means that technically Ethan Raph and Matthew Vickers should refrain from discussing each other in public and on the internet. Matthew Vickers really skirts this quite a bit. I thought for a while that it was one way because Matthew Vickers goes out of his way to provoke Ethan Raph whenever possible, including leaking this information. I will read it because the court document is funny. But the reason why it's presented this way, instead of in a nice, tidy PDF with high-quality images, is that Matthew Vickers is an attention whore. Matthew Vickers is mentally ill. He is like 46 years old. He is an old man. He's the father of like 5 kids. I think all of them are adult children at this point. And despite this, he has the attention-seeking personality traits of a 13-year-old girl. I don't know what's wrong with him. I don't know why he's like this, but it's very obvious that Faith Vickers chose Ethan Raph because him and her father are very, very similar personality-wise. Matthew Vickers from day one has hated the Kiwi Farms because people have pointed out that Faith Vickers would not be such a stupid fucking whore if she did not have a stupid fucking father. And that stupid fucking father is Matthew Vickers. So he has never liked the forum. So instead of releasing documents in a way that's sensible so that he could get the most positive attention and support possible for his legal battles, he plays favorites. He has a entourage of supremely desperate F-level e-celebrities like the genius Anus, a absolute nobody, who will literally suck this old man's dick to show up on his bullshit podcast and read through these documents with him and to have first pick at this kind of information coming directly from Matthew Vickers. Because Matthew Vickers desires clout on the internet more than he does anything else, including the welfare of his own children and granddaughter or grandson, apparently. It's the most perplexing thing possible. I have nothing but contempt for Matthew Vickers. I think that he's every bit as fucking disgusting and vile as Ethan Raph. And these streams that he does where he reads the deranged ramblings of Ethan Raph remind me a lot of rape victim impact statements. At the end of a trial, when someone is found guilty, there is a sentencing hearing, and the victims are allowed to give their piece, to ask for a harsh sentence or a light sentence if they believe that's appropriate. And then the defendant is also allowed to ask for the mercy of the court and get a lenient sentence. So here we have Matthew Vickers, and sure, Ralph is fucked. Ralph is sitting there. He's been convicted of rape, and he's fucked. And the question is now only how fucked is he? And sure, Matthew Vickers gets to read his statement and say everything that he wants to say, and Ethan Raph can't stop him. But the reality is that nothing will unrape Matthew Vickers. Matthew Vickers had his family tree perpetually in perpetuity forever knotted with Ethan Raph. He will never unfuck his genes from Ethan Raph. There is nothing that he can do short of smothering an infant to death to completely undo the damage that Ethan Raph has wrought his life. And if he wants to sit there and play stupid fucking games like a child and play with deranged lunatics and retards on the internet to drip feed information so they can't have a nice PDF and have to read screenshots off his bullshit stream, The Good, the Bad, and the Vicious. The most boring goddamn thing that has ever been published on the internet, ever. So be it. But keep in mind, Matthew Vickers, nothing you do will unrape you. And nothing you do will make your grandson not related to Ethan Raph. Go fuck yourself.